I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Plusle. I've mentioned before that the third generation marked the first time a Pokemon game was made by a team who knew what Pokemon was. The anime had been running for a few years, and even had a few feature films in cinemas. The games were super-selling phenomena, and the formulas were about to be established. At this point, Pikachu was already an icon, so introducing a fun little new twist on the character was a smart move, and a cute way to introduce a new mechanic. Hence, we get the first pair in a wide family of electric rodents paying homage to the original electric mouse. I'm Luke Summerhays, and I hate Minun. I mentioned all the way back in my Pikachu episode that as much as I appreciate the little yellow fella and the nostalgia he represents, there is a frustration at seeing Pikachu on 90% of all Pokemon merchandise. We're at close to 1,000 unique and interesting monsters now, and I'd love to see all of them making fun little appearances. But no, it's Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. At least in Pikachu's case, it was created as an earnest Pokemon design, and organically developed a fanbase through its appearance in the games. Starting from the third generation, every new batch of Pokemon introduced a cynical and lazy clone of Pikachu. Take a rodent, make it electric, there's your dinner. Pathetic. Plusle is a cute little mouse Pokemon, a pale yellow or cream colour with red highlights on its tail, ears and cheeks. Its overall body shape is similar to Pichu, and on both the cheeks and the tail it has a plus symbol motif to emphasise the theme of a positive electrical charge. Minun is basically the same Pokemon as Plusle, but it's blue and it has a minus motif. It could have been an alternate form of the same monster, but I guess someone had a Pokédex quota to fill. Plusle and Minun's basic colours are red and blue, obviously a significant colour pairing in Pokemon, with the original Red and Blue games, these new Ruby and Sapphire games, and many subsequent pairings following a vaguely bluish and reddish theme. However, in Japan, the original pair of games was red and green, and brilliantly, shiny Plusle is a deeper red, while shiny Minun turns green. It's pretty naff that Plusle shiny is basically the same colour as the non-shiny form. If you really squint, you can tell that its red is a sort of dark magenta, but otherwise you'd never know. Imagine if Plusle was the one shiny you caught in a playthrough. Disappointing. One of the big new additions in the third generation was of course double battles. Pokemon battles in which each trainer has two Pokemon on the field at any given time. It massively expanded the tactical scope, and has become the standard for the competitive video game. In the GameCube games, Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, double battles were the order of the day. Plusle and Minun were among a couple of duos introduced specifically to show off this mechanic, and their plus and minus abilities that gave one another a boost when they shared the field, and their signature move, the Helping Hand, helped them really show off this new system. Double battles are cool and all, but majorly underused in the single-player campaigns of any Pokemon games, including here where they were introduced. A pair of Pokemon who are basically only useful in double battles are wasting space on a team the rest of the game. And being cutesy little mice that were just designed to sell merchandise, they don't actually have any useful stats, or an evolution or anything like that, so they aren't powerful enough to make a big splash competitively either. Who wants two electric types on their team? Their whole character is based on this idea of teamwork. Pokemon Ruby tells us, Plusle always acts as a cheerleader for its partners. Whenever a teammate puts out a good effort in battle, this Pokemon shorts out its body to create the crackling noises of sparks, to show off its joy. Minun is more concerned about cheering on its partners than its own safety. It shorts out the electricity in its body to create brilliant showers of sparks to cheer on its teammates. Pokemon Sapphire tells us, when Plusle is cheering on its partner, it flashes with electric sparks from all over its body. If its partner loses, this Pokemon cries loudly. Minun loves to cheer on its partner in battle. It gives off sparks from its body while it is doing so. If its partner is in trouble, this Pokemon gives off increasing amounts of sparks. And Pokemon Emerald tells us, Plusle has the trait of cheering on its fellow Pokemon. By shorting out the electricity it releases from its pores, it creates bombs for cheering. At a meeting of Pokemon academics, it was announced that simultaneous exposure to electricity from a Plusle and Minun will promote circulation and boost vitality. Of course, we've also seen Plusle and Minun in the anime a few times, usually cheering on other Pokemon in battle or taking part in contests. They had a notable showing as a lovable comic relief duo in Destiny Deoxys, eventually helping the character Tori overcome a lifelong phobia of Pokemon. These anime appearances were somewhat undercut by the fact that the anime already introduced a pair of Pichu twins for some earlier shorts, and Plusle and Minun kind of just acted like a recolored version of those two, with less distinct characters. Positive and negative electric charges are key to things like magnets and batteries, and are part of the fundamental forces of nature. So if anything, it feels like the third generation of Pokemon is a little late to introduce electric-type monsters which explore this concept. I'm sure Plusle and Minun were many children's first introduction to this scientific idea, which is certainly no bad thing. However, despite one being the positive Pokemon and one the negative, both Plusle and Minun are always depicted as friendly, cheery, happy-go-lucky monsters. Where is Minun's negativity? I could think they could have made much more of an impression if they'd been a sort of comedy double-act odd couple, with one overly friendly and the other constantly miserable. Missed opportunity, I reckon. Love them or hate them, these aren't the last Pikachu-like monsters we'll be dealing with on Loot Love's Pokemon. So however you feel, it's probably time to make your peace. Music for Loot Love's Pokemon was composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Writing, editing, and producing is all by me, Luke Summerhaze, and costs are covered by my lovely supporters on Patreon. If you like this podcast, please rate and review or whatever podcast app you're listening through, and please tell your Pokemon-loving friends. The podcast can be found on Twitter and Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN, so I'd love it if you got in touch. The next two monsters are Volbeat and Illumise, so please get in touch with your thoughts about those or any other monsters. Lastly, as I mentioned, this podcast is supported by Patreon. If you want to listen to episodes early and help keep the show hosted online, visit patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius. And if you have an idea for something I could offer that would make you interested in signing up, Twitch streams, Q&As, videos, or content on wider topics, please let me know. And even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Plusle. And yes, I love Minun. And remember, I love you too. Or maybe I hate you. You ever think about that?